What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. This is Marketing with Dev. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and hit those bell notifications to be notified when I drop new bangers just like this. And you want to be notified when I drop new videos like this because these videos are going to help grow your business, which is going to help grow your bank account. So let's get into the topic of discussion for this video, and that is, what are the best audiences to test on TikTok, right? So when we're talking about TikTok ads, every time I'm talking to somebody or I'm consulting with somebody, they always ask me, which audiences should I test first? Which audience is this? Which audience is that? So in this video, I'm going to be answering all of those questions and more. But before I do so, I just want to briefly mention that when it comes to TikTok ads, yes, the audiences are very important, but what's more important, specifically when it comes to TikTok ads, is your creatives. You want to make sure that you're testing tons of creatives all the time, constantly recording new creatives to test. Creatives are going to be able to scale your ad account faster than any audience will. I promise you guys. So that doesn't mean don't focus on audiences, because your audiences are very, very important. But what is more important are your creatives. So I advise you guys to spend more time on the front end, scripting your content and recording more content, as opposed to trying to do a bunch of audience research. But now that that's out the way, without further ado, let's go. All right, guys, so the first audience that we want to test is always going to be a broad audience. Now, what do I mean when I say a broad audience? I mean absolutely broad. No targeting, no gender, no anything. We want to leave it absolutely bare, and we're going to let the algorithm do its job. Now, you may think, why would I just leave it broad and not do any targeting or whatever, but just trust me on this. The TikTok algorithm is actually pretty smart, and in a short amount of time, it can find the type of person that will most likely buy your product or your service or opt in to whatever you have to offer. Now, obviously, if you have something that's specifically for women, or if you have something that's specifically for men, then you would just select that specific gender. But if you have something that is unisex, then we don't want to do anything. We don't want to put in any ages. We don't want to put in any genders. We don't want to put in any interests of any kind. We want to leave it absolutely bare, and we want to run that test just like that. And you guys will be surprised at some of the results that you will see when using a broad audience. So I know maybe on other platforms, using a broad audience may not necessarily be the best thing to do, but on TikTok, it is always worth testing a broad audience, just because we found a lot of success doing it like that. There has been many times where we've been testing 3 different ad groups, and our ad group with the broad audience has the best results by far, right? So make sure that we're always testing a broad audience. No targeting parameters at all, unless it's clearly something that's age specific or clearly something that's gender specific. The second audience that you guys are always going to want to test is interest stacking, right? So what is interest stacking? So interest stacking is kind of what it sounds like. So you want to take a bunch of different interests that are related to your industry or your niche, and you want to stack them on top of each other, right? So again, maybe different from other platforms where you wouldn't stack maybe 15 to 18 different interests on top of each other. On TikTok, this is exactly what we want to do, because we want to get a nice size audience so we can let that algorithm do its work. And the way that we can easily find interests that we can use, that we can throw in there to stack, is just by using our patented 3-layer formula targeting system, right? So that would either be things that are directly related to your product or your service, things that are closely related to your product or your service, or things that your ideal client will also like. So when you're looking for interest, make sure that they check at least one of those boxes and then select it. Now, you want to stack all of those interests on top of each other, and then you want to let your ad run. So I would say to have anywhere between about 10 and 20 different interests in that stack, and make sure that you label the ad group to what kind of interest that you have in there. And also, you don't want to necessarily mix different types of industry interests together, right? So if I'm doing business interests, then I'm going to make sure that in this specific ad group, all of the interests are going to be related to that. I'm not going to have some business interests and then some health interests and put them together, right? We don't want to do that. We want to have all the business interests all together, and if we want to have another ad group testing a different type of interest, then we'll just create a separate one to do that. right? So that is how you will do interest stacking. There are many, many different types of interest that you guys can select, and I just gave you guys the 3-layer system to help you find the right audiences that you can select. So make sure you guys are adding interest stacking to your testing. And the third audience that we want to always test is a lookalike stack. So similar to the interest stack, a lookalike stack is where we're going to be stacking all of our lookalike audiences together and testing that just like that. So again, different from other platforms you may be familiar with, we want to create different custom audiences and then create lookalike audiences of people who engage with us, right? So we can create lookalike audiences of people who viewed our website page, people who clicked our link, people who viewed our video, people who engaged with our TikTok profiles. There's so many different lookalike audiences that you can make, so there's no limit to what you should make. But all the lookalike audiences that you do make sure you stack them in and test them like that, right? So the reason why we want to do this is because theoretically speaking, these people who are in your lookalike audiences are the most likely to convert with what you have to offer. Now, this is not necessarily always the case, but in theory, your lookalike audience should be the one that's the most successful. Again, that's not always the case. So if you're new to TikTok ads and you just want to start a new campaign, these are 3 great interests for you to start out with. Now, if you are new to TikTok ads, you may not have enough data yet to create a lookalike audience, so therefore you may not be able to create a lookalike stack. So if that is the case, then you can just focus on the first 2 audiences that I gave you until you build up enough data in your account to be able to create lookalike audiences, and then you can add the lookalike stack to that as well. So guys, I hope you guys like this video. Make sure you actually implement the things that I'm teaching you guys in this video into your actual ads, because it will help you greatly, I promise. All of these videos that we give you is based off our experience, it's based off thousands and thousands of dollars of testing, hours and hours of spent in the lab actually doing these types of things, right? So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and hit those bell notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.